I'm Tom Meyer, owner of the Q-Shack restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm a job creator. Since 2003, we've started a chain of local barbecue restaurants that are here in North Carolina, and we founded it on the principle of getting local food from local farmers and ranchers, cooked locally and then developed for our guests. So we have a full line of catering that we do, as well as restaurants in all different kinds of venues. So we have a full-scale 3,500 square foot restaurant to a smaller out parcel that's in a food court of a local shopping mall. When we started in 2003, I understood all the risks that we were taking. I knew that when I put my house up for collateral, that there'd be a day that somebody could come and take that house from me. My wife understood that. What I never really understood and what I never really sort of conjured was that the government, my government, would make it so hard on us to be able to grow our business, to be able to have the kind of life that the American dream was all about. My father certainly got to live the American dream, and his father before him. And what I never really counted on was that our president and our government would use the regulatory system to bypass the Senate, would use it to bypass Congress, would use it to bypass laws, and just enact regulation to tighten the grip on us. I never had any idea that would happen. I haven't taken a salary out of my business in 7 years. I have, in 7 years, we took out a $500,000 loan that was backed partially by the SBA and partially by a community bank. But when we took that loan out, it was done on a handshake with a local banker and Self-Help, which is a local institution here. And it was done on the courage of the business plan. So that $500,000 loan was just paid off in November. And it took me $6,555 a month for 84 months to pay it off, and I actually paid it off 7 months early. It's been almost a night and day difference from 2003 to 2010 and 11 and now into 12. When we started the business in 2003, people were, banks in particular, were dealing credit almost as if it were buying a new car or buying a new home. So long as you had a cogent business plan and you were able to show proper collateral, money was there. But since, it's really been almost disastrous. We've just tried, simply in 2009, we tried to refinance 2 of our business loans with increased collateral, increased money on the table, and were denied that access to increased credit. So, and we, at that point, where we were not even asking for more money, we were just asking to reallocate the loan over an extra 6-month time period. It seems kind of backwards that the reason you go for a loan is because you need the money to grow your business, but if you don't have enough money to grow your business, you can't get the loan that you need to grow your business. So it's kind of the classic runaround with the banks. And there are 1,000 vultures in the submarket who would love to take what is almost like a payday loan. They'd love to take part of your credit card sales. They'd love to give you all sorts of different avenues to get money, only to extract sometimes 25, 35, 45% on the back end. So how would the higher interest rate impact how we would conduct our business? You know, it has a very real consequence. In a traditional bank loan, covered by assets, and sometimes they're personal assets, sometimes personal and business, you get anywhere from 5 to 7 years to make that payback. In these kinds of payday loans, if you will, these are 12-month, 18-month, at most 24-month payback. So it's extremely onerous. And what ends up happening is you owe the interest whether you pay the loan back early or not. So it's 35% on $30,000. You've got to pay back that $11,000 immediately. I think a lot of our banks are changing the way in which they speak to customers because they're in turn being given a whole lot of regulations to which they have to adhere, and they're trying to fight for space inside a banking industry that's imploding upon itself. It seems to be the very large banks and the larger regional banks who are trying to grow into larger national banks. The whole community bank situation is non-existent. We started with a community bank that got gobbled up by a regional, and the CEO, who was at that point a personal friend, is now somewhere else doing something else, I'm sure. We've been able to clean up our balance sheet internally. We've been able to understand what's happening in front of us in our business. We're better prepared. I've hired lots of new people to help me sort of figure out where we're going and what we need to do. If I could give one piece of advice to future budding entrepreneurs, it would be to be well capitalized at the start and to rely on your own assets to do so. The days where you can leverage your inventory, the days where you can leverage your internal knowledge, the way that you used to be able to do, are over. And even if they come back, the regulatory climate is going to be such that if you don't have the assets in your own bank to be able to deal with things, you're going to be in a pretty bad position.